Buenos dias. My name is Elijah Carter, and I'm coming to you today from the Big Island of Hawaii. Today, I'd like to briefly share with you about the concept of holism and how we can use those concepts to bring all the aspects of our being into harmony. Let's start with the definition of holism. Basically, it states that the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. So we know we can name all the parts of the human aspect, but when we put them all together, we know that there's something greater than that. We don't know exactly what that is, but we know that exists. Also, I would like to go over the first law of thermodynamics, which states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It's just always is there, but it can be transfigured, it can be transformed, and it can be transmuted. When we talk about holism, there's two separate parts. There's the internal environment and there's the external environment. The internal environment consists of our body, our emotions, our thoughts, our spiritual level, and our ancestral lineage. The external environment is comprised of everything around us, where we work, where we live, the things that we do. That's all part of our external environment. There's also two parts to the external environment. One is the visible world, and the other is the invisible realm. And we know that all of those affect us. So let's start by going over the internal environment. We know that the body is the densest and slowest part of our energy field. Next comes our emotions, which are close to our body. That vibration is a little closer because every time we have an emotion, it affects our body. So we go above the emotions and we have our thoughts. And then we have our spiritual energy. And like I said before, our ancestral lineage, which affects everything. So our emotions come from our thoughts. Our thoughts come from our beliefs, and our beliefs usually come from our ancestors. So if we've been taught that certain emotions are bad, like anger, frustration, sadness, when we judge those as being bad, we actually lower their vibration. So now these vibrations from those emotions are actually come down and resonate with our body, and they interfere with the energy that moves through our body through our meridian system. So if we change our belief about these emotions, we can raise those vibrations, keep them up out of the body, and only use them in times of emergency or when we really need them. So again, like I said, our thoughts contribute to our emotions, and then our thoughts come from our beliefs, and our beliefs come from our ancestral lineage. So we've learned things from our parents, and most of the beliefs that we get from our parents are erroneous. So we've been taught things that really aren't the truth. And so we want to try to bring everything into harmony by honoring everything and holding it in its most harmonious essence. So let's give an example. So let's say that one of our great-great-grandmothers lost her first child during childbirth, which created a deep sadness in her. So when she sees that sadness as something bad, it actually lowers the vibration and keeps that energy within her body. If we hold the emotion of sadness in its most harmonious essence, it transmutes into honoring. So instead of that mother being sad because she lost her child, she can turn that around and start to honor that child that she lost and hold that child in its most harmonious essence, which raises the vibration and brings everything more into harmony. So each of our emotions, we can transmute into their most harmonious assets. So frustration can be transmuted into motivation. Anger can be transmuted into clarity. We talked about sadness. Trust can be held in its most harmonious essence, and it turns into gut instinct. So every one of those emotions have this more harmonious essence, but we usually use those in their lower essence. So the best way to transmute these emotions is through affirmations and intentions. So if we take the energy of sadness and we say some affirmations like, I love you, sadness. I appreciate everything you do. I see you shining in bright golden light, and I hold you in your most harmonious essence. I set an intention to transmute the energy of sadness into honoring, to experience the harmony of homeostasis. Once we state these affirmations and intention, then we can let the energy do the work, and we don't have to try to figure it out in our mind how to transmute that energy. We just keep coming back and repeating the affirmations and intentions, and then at some point, the emotion will manifest into its most harmonious essence. So this emotion of sadness that our great-grandmother had will actually affect the DNA. So that DNA gets passed down to her daughter, and actually to you, and then through you, it can get passed on to your descendants. So if we go back to the great-grandmother and shift that energy more into harmony, it helps everybody in the whole lineage. So we can bring our whole lineage into harmony. We can also use these affirmations and these intentions to assist with our relationship in our external environment. So if there's somebody that we're having difficult with, or maybe there's been some kind of argument and there's a disharmony in the energy between the two people, we can use these affirmations and intentions to bring that relationship into harmony. And we don't have to even let the person know that we're doing that. Instead of complaining about this person or judging them or criticizing them, we can just hold them in their most harmonious essence. And as we do that, the energy will start to shift. But the problem is that we never know exactly when that energy will manifest. So we just have to keep doing that and establishing a deeper relationship with them. And once we do that, we'll see that the energy shift, and we can be better at it. So sometimes it's hard when you're having difficult with somebody to tell them that you love them. So I always say that we can love someone, but we don't have to like them. So when we're in love with everything. Some people have behaviors that we don't necessarily approve of their behaviors, but we can still love them. And when we express that and we say it out loud, then we will start to shift that energy. Our being basically has two sides to it. It's like two sides of a coin. There's our spiritual lineage, and then there's our bloodline lineage. So our spiritual lineage is the part of us that's always in harmony. Some people refer to that as the higher self, but I like to call it the spiritual lineage. And then we have our bloodline lineage, which comes down through our ancestors. And we know that those affect us quite a bit. If there's anger, if there's sadness with our ancestors, we'll also have similar things happening to us. And there'll be situations where we'll find ourselves doing the same thing that our ancestors did. So when we say that we love someone and we hold them in their most harmonious essence, we're actually addressing their spiritual lineage. So the job of the spiritual lineage is to bring the bloodline lineage into harmony. So the bloodline part has been corrupted, like I mentioned before, and it'll fluctuate in and out of harmony, but our spiritual side will come in and help that bloodline side come more into harmony. So as we state these affirmations and intentions, the two sides will be more in harmony. And when they're both operating together in harmony, I like to say that's when the magic happens, because things will happen that we can't really explain, but they're coming from holding everything and ourselves in the most harmonious essence. So that's a brief overview of how this system can work. So the program that I use it with is called the Holistic Self-Harmonizing Program. I used to call it the self-healing program, but then realized the word healing sometimes means that there's something wrong. So basically what we're trying to do is just getting all aspects of our internal environment and our external environment into the concept of homeostasis, where we are in harmony. So if you're interested in finding out more information about these concepts that I briefly discussed today, I have 2 books that you can read. The first one is called Love, the Harmonizing Essence. And the second book is called Love, the Ancestral Harmonizer. So these 2 books are actually novels, and I've created a story around these concepts. So I give examples of people and how it works and what happens when they go through this program and their ability then to reach their full potential. I'm sure Ananda can give you some more information on these books if you're interested. And she can also tell you how to get in contact with me. So thank you for letting me share some time with you. And I hope the rest of your seminar goes great. And thank you very much. Aloha.